Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nexus where we spotlight some of our favorite local businesses. Today I have one of my absolute favorites here. This woman is super funny, witty, she'll shoot you straight, and I've had the pleasure of knowing her for probably about 5 years now, so that's super awesome to have Echo Bell here with Bell Solutions. She is our CFO on the go.
Yes, ma'am.
So her valuable time is being well spent here educating all of us. So thanks for coming to the show, Echo.
Thank you, Renee. Appreciate you having me. I love learning about all the business owners on this show. So really appreciate the opportunity today.
Well, this is going to be super fun because you have an awesome story. So I'm excited
I'll
for
try
you
not
to
to
start from
disappoint.
the beginning. How did you get here?
Well, I'm from here in Lincoln. My parents were traveling musicians, so I grew up all over, but graduated from David City and have been in Lincoln pretty much since. Married to my amazing husband, Leroy, for about 19 years. We have 2 sons. My oldest is graduating in like 6 weeks, so I have an 18-year-old about to graduate and a youngest about to turn 15. So they keep us busy. But I spent most of my career in operations, business, and accounting, business systems and accounting. Spent the tail end of my career serving as the chief financial officer for larger organizations, primarily in your construction and manufacturing fields. Finished out my career as the director of ops and CFO for a large fabricating company, and prior to going full-time entrepreneur. And it's, I think, really those later experiences as a CFO that's kind of defined what we do today as Bell Solutions.
Yeah, all of that experience really kind of wraps up nicely into what you're doing today.
Yeah, absolutely.
You serve all types of clients like us, but also people in the construction industry. Yep. That's kind of a big one for you. Are there any other specialties that you like to serve?
Well, business entrepreneurship is definitely my passion. So we love startups and small businesses. When I got into really the heart of being a CFO and strategically working in my career, once I went on my own, that really isn't available for small businesses. You can piece together lots of professionals, but I found the role that I learned to really love in my career wasn't available for small guys. And so for me, it's less about industry these days. Yes, we still do construction companies and whatnot, but entrepreneurship, young, growing, thriving businesses that want to get to the next level, startups. This community is amazing for startups. And I was just talking this morning with one of your teammates. There's just so many great ideas that are beyond what we used to see in business. When I grew up and was in, working for the man, it's very structured and there were safe ways. And business owners were people with money and older people. And there was just so many amazing ideas coming out of high school in our younger generation. And so Lincoln is phenomenal, entrepreneurial community. And so, yes, our target is those guys. We want to work with startups, the companies like yourself that want to do greater things. There's lots of accountants and bookkeepers and things like that, but we want companies that want to strive to be more.
Well, I can say that I have a finance background, but it's been invaluable having your expertise when it comes to QuickBooks and just advice of things you've seen other business owners, entrepreneurs, what they have gone through. And so I find it just so valuable to have you as like a sounding board. And I think you're kind of alluding to that that's your favorite role.
Compliance, the pandemic changed everything.
Absolutely.
The landscape for small business, I feel like it was my bachelor. It was like the next level. But what we had to learn in compliance. And the regulations that drive small business that has to be in place to get to the strategic part. Changed everything for us and leveled up to a completely different, it's a different world. And so we are very compliance based and we work like dogs behind the scene. We try not to let our clients feel it, but
they'll bark at you.
We do have our, accountability is a big piece of what we do, but it's how we get better. But, just in the time I've been here, sales tax laws obtained probably 3 times this morning. It's rapid, fast-paced. And so working hard on compliance, keeping people protected so that we can work on the fun things you're talking about, the strategic piece to get us to the next level.
Right. So we're always audit ready.
Always tax and audit ready. That's our guarantee. And back to your point, we need business owners that want to do their part so we can make that guarantee. We want to deliver that to people, but you got to want to come to the table.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, exciting news. I know you're ready to announce. Fill us in on what's happening with your future.
So, my business, most people know us as Lincoln CFO on the Go. So we do accounting, bookkeeping, strategy, compliance for small businesses. But the other side of my business is business efficiency. So I come into larger organizations, turn around profitability by putting in process, SOPs, systems, this type of thing. And that skill set or that side of my experience has really allowed us to develop a unique accounting business. In the pandemic, we got big, really have toned back down to the right amount of clients that we can provide the maximum value for. And in doing that, we've got a lot of interest from around the country to take our business model, and we want to get that into small business communities around the country, rather than trying to have 1,000 clients and serve. We've served clients in all different states, even countries. It's hard at a mass level to continue to be valuable, and we found that sweet spot. And so I'm working with Intuit and QuickBooks, just kind of moved up on their development team to kind of have a player in our court. We do everything in QuickBooks, so they're excited to kind of help us through some of their conferences and things they have going on. But we're going to take our model and build CFOs across the country so we can impact small business on a much greater level.
That makes me really excited, honestly, because so many people just like me need someone just like you, and yet you can't be there for everybody.
But,
so,
and on the flip side, the accounting industry is struggling.
Yeah.
People are not enrolling.
Shrinking. People don't want to
the old
deal with
CPA, I love my CPAs, but the old methods and the old way is not in alignment with today's business. And I know it's an audacious thing, but I've told my team, I'm not setting out to change the industry. We have to get out of this old school way and start applying the digital world and the technology to the tools we have so that we can grow and understand business while we're protected real time. These entrepreneurs of tomorrow, they're moving. We got big ideas coming out of this country, and we need those. We need to support them as such. Not this, $5,000 tax return at the end of the year, and that's all you deal with. It's getting those tools, the strategies, and the technology real time with businesses. So that's my goal, is to go change the accounting industry.
Well,
I know.
We share the same goal by bringing technology to people.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just have always had the same wavelength as you, and I think that we do see the world a little bit differently, and there's a whole different way of doing things. And so we love being people's fractional CMO, and you're people's fractional CFO.
That's why I love working with your company.
Yeah. It's fun.
Exciting.
It's really fun. So tell me one of your clients' stories, possibly, that you made a really significant impact.
Boy, we have a lot these days.
Just something that you maybe you told them that saved them a lot of money, or positioned them in a way that wasn't going to get them in trouble, or something like that.
I think there's probably 25 examples over the last year of people who don't realize the legal issues of maybe using online sources or the do-it-yourself. So we've seen a ton of mis-set up finances in terms of how we're either the legality for how we're selling or the taxes related. So, obviously I don't want to share names and whatnot. But from a compliance standpoint, in the last year, a lot of people, I think, were trying to open things and get things going. And the problem is when that's not done right, it affects your livelihood. Right? This is your life. And if you've got kids or assets or other things, it becomes a big deal. So I'd say there's a big legal compliance piece. But on the flip side, we empower people to know it. Yeah. This is not fun what we do, and we've had some great success stories lately. I mean, most people want to stab me in the neck at some point of working with me. I guarantee you have. And it's okay.
We've done it.
It's part of the accountability and learning. But we've had some great success stories. Even spoke with somebody yesterday who just said, I've never felt so empowered. Like I know what I'm doing, and I feel like there's someone in my court. And so for me, it's the accountability, and really, we don't do everything for you. There's a system. You need to know your numbers. You need to understand how to read it. You need to get in and be a part of that. And so we've had some amazing success stories of people who just, and then what they're able to do when you're empowered with that knowledge and you have the confidence and understand what that means. I think part of the thing with finance is it's so scary.
Yeah.
We think it's like this whole complex thing, and so it's easy to not touch it. It's easy to shy away from it. Yeah. And when you can empower someone that you can do it, you can know it, and you are making money, here's what it means. It's powerful.
It is.
It's powerful.
So powerful.
And then they're like, I'm going to stab you in the neck.
Because they want to scream because where's my money?
Yes. So I see two sides. There's a legal compliance thing. But getting people to take charge and be present in it.
Yeah, I think the fear is there definitely for people. Like nobody really got into like a solopreneurship or startup because they were like, I love accounting.
Well,
or
it's
they
like stripping naked.
Or they want to do payroll. I mean, what a nightmare. Like
it's very vulnerable to be like, well, here's all my
that's
stuff.
That's true.
It's so hard and
like
personal.
The person I was like, okay, well, I just want to like preface this with
and that's the thing that I think is a message to everyone. Everyone comes, well, I'm not, and I don't, and what you're going to see. We're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
The difference is looking at it, educating yourself, and making better decisions. The only difference of knowing it versus not knowing it is you're making decisions without choices.
You got to rip the Band-Aid off.
Right. So
just do it.
Everyone thinks they're everybody's millionaires and they're the only ones that. No, it's about understanding it so you can make better decisions. Right?
I'm switching gears.
Okay.
Because one of the things I admire about you the most is the way that you set boundaries and the way you've prioritized your kids and your family. I want you to talk about that. How you can do that as a business owner.
I love this question. Yeah. There's a fine line between setting boundaries and, I'm not supposed to cuss on this show, but being, not so not favorite. It's hard for people. When you set boundaries for yourself, it's hard for people to follow that.
Oh, that word.
Yes, that word. But one of the biggest things we're going to replicate across the country is I have a remote company. And in doing that, we've created a culture that is very much about accountability and boundaries. And it is what has allowed us to have the culture and the operations that we do today. And so many of the people that are reaching out to us wanting this model or wanting to go do something like this for themselves, it's that. Mm-hmm. It's what we've created on the personal level. And the way you win at it, it is. Mm-hmm. And the way you win at it is business. It's one thing to say, here's the deadlines, here's what we're doing, here's the boundaries, when nothing's in order. It's another thing when every process and every system is always audited and always defined and always in place. There is no fires in bookkeeping if you follow the process. So it's much easier to put in time management boundaries when we all have the opportunity to win. Mm-hmm. It's set up to win.
Yeah, somebody else's lack of
lack of preparation should not be my fire.
That's not your emergency.
Correct.
Yeah, and I think we as females in particular, but
absolutely.
Just in general as a business owner, you really want to like accommodate your clients, but sometimes their asks are unreasonable, and it's okay to say no. Yeah. So I think that's just something that not a lot of people talk about. And then not every client is your client.
Many are. I am so not for everyone. I am for a limited few. No, really.
You're like Nebraska.
I
say it about myself too. We're not for everybody.
Before I left my career, I I was CFO at a big company and rocking 6-figure, get all the big things and all the stuff that you get and you work for the man. And then I got pregnant and they asked me to leave.
Wow.
And it has really set the tone for the culture and how I live my life today. But you have to, balance requires you feeding all parts of yourself, your physical, your intellectual, your family, your business. They all have to have an equal part. And that was probably one of the biggest lessons in my life. I'm not going to put that at second. So I employ women who've decided to live their lives on different terms. We work hard, but we do it in a way where there's a lot of balance and there's accountability with the things that we put in place. And everybody wins. The business owner wins. Team wins. You as the entrepreneur wins.
Right. And you set your business up in a way such that you would even want to work for yourself. Like, absolutely. I was saying that yesterday to somebody, and I was like, I've done things a little differently here because there was something, maybe a little bit of something at each place I worked at that I didn't really particularly care for. You know, like one place I worked at, I had a funeral I wanted to go to. It was of a former coworker. My vacations were planned for the year, and I wouldn't have had enough time to go to that. And I got told no, and I will never forget it, you know. And so it's cool that you're able to, like, give that freedom and flexibility. They can help, you know, with their families.
Absolutely.
And, if someone's sick, go home. So,
well, we are home. But, yes. Yes, I had a thought there, and it just went out of my head.
That's okay. It happens. All right. Well, we're probably getting close to the end here, but I would like to hear either a book that you would recommend for entrepreneurs to read or advice.
So I'll give you both if I can.
Great.
What is it called?
There's
a picture in my phone. It's called
I'll like
it's something.
For you.
It's the Leader's Perpetual Guide to Innovation, but I can't think of the book name.
Okay,
right off the top of my head.
We'll put it in the.
I will. Yes,
we'll
I will find the name
comments.
of it. Yeah. But it fueled me and inspired me in these last weeks so much, and it's such a great reminder, I think, for entrepreneurs to maybe scale and look at things differently. So definitely recommend the book. My advice: follow your passion, know your numbers, and get a process in place for yourself. I think those are the key things.
Process is huge.
Yeah. Process, numbers,
and don't be afraid to ask for help, you know, like it's worth a call just to see, you know,
absolutely.
Like if you're kind of worried or wondering, you know, just give her a call. So
help. We love educating.
Yeah. Really quick, I know you were saying that you're going to do some additional QuickBooks trainings.
Yes, QuickBooks Online. We're getting a lot of asks again. Used to do a lot of training, so we will be doing a whole series this year, both for CPAs who are wanting to get caught up on the latest, as well as small businesses. There's some great tools for managing cash flow and whatnot. So, going to be doing a lot of training. Anything small business. We love entrepreneurship. Give us a call. There's no cost to get decent, good advice. Yeah. And so we don't know everything, but we can definitely get you pointed in the right direction. So,
and don't be scared. She's awesome and nice too.
Well, you know,
if you do it right.
Entrepreneurship should be a little scary, but don't be scared of me.
No. She's not the problem. I'm not the problem.
Together, we can do it. And I think that goes for all things in business, is you got to reach out for help.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, this was just as I expected it to be. So thank you for coming in.
I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure to see you.
And you. You look great.
Oh, you're so sweet. Okay. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Thank you.